Hey, how are you, bestie? Just checking in, making sure you're doing okay. And you know what? If you're not, that's okay, because none of us are. None of us are. We're living through the craziest times, and I don't understand, and I did not sign up for this. I'm like, what the fuck? If you guys are in need of a story time right now, grab your wine, snacks, everything you need. And I just want to start off this story time by asking you guys a very simple question. Have you guys ever kind of sort of helped a friend find a sugar daddy? You already know things can't just go normal for me. So without further ado, let's get into the story time. I got a new little interim job, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tell you exactly which one, because I don't need y'all being nosy. A lot of my Glamazons that know my history or have been with me for years, bitch, they be trying to put together timelines, okay? Don't think I don't see you. I see you. I made this friend, and she was so fun, so cool, like, just everything that I wanted to be, all packed into a little package. I mean, she was like all of 5 foot nothing. Cutest person, okay? But with the most fiery personality. I never thought that I would meet a friend that would be faster to get into a fight than me. But when I met oh girl, all that went out the window, okay? We're gonna name her Alexis. Okay. After a while, I did get another job. So we were sadly separated, but we still, saw each other quite often. And we started keeping each other updated with each other's lives and all that, right? Now, she did not leave the job that I met her at. She stayed there, okay? Well, I happened to live near the job that she still worked at because, I live downtown and that job was downtown. My new job was like down in Lodo. It was a little bit further. I say all this to say that one day came around and she called me frantic and she was like, bitch, what are you doing? What's going on? And she was like, bitch, I need you to come blow in my car. I'm sorry. Alexis, the fuck you just say? Come meet me in a parking lot and blow in my car. Now, keep in mind, I was like super young. I legitimately did not know what she was talking about. And she was like getting frustrated. She was like, bitch, just get over here and I'll explain it to you. Like, I just need your breath. And I was like, okay. This is like after hours. Like, it was already nighttime. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing at our old job anyways? Like, they had been closed, okay? So I'm not about to leave her out on the city streets by herself in the dark. So I hop into my little Scion and I vroom down the street to go meet her. I get out of my car. I go meet her in her car. She's sitting there with some McDonald's in her lap. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And she was like, I can't take off. And I was like, why? And she was like, because I need you to blow in my car. And bitch, she pulls out this damn contraption from the middle console. And it literally is like about this big. It's just bulky and it's got like a straw looking thing at the top of it. The fuck is that? Have you drank today? Bitch, it's Wednesday. Oh, okay. So we're judging now. And I was like, I literally don't know what's going on. Like, I was not trying to be facetious or anything. I swear, I remember her being like, whatever, like, don't be judging. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. She had to explain this to me like I was a child. And she was like, so, got a little crazy one night and I may or may not have been swerving a little bit. I tried to flirt with the cops. I even tried to pull my titties out and like, it didn't work. And I got a DUI. You're so stupid. She did not have access to her car unless she blew into that little thing, and you have to have like no alcohol in your system at all. Listen, I ain't about to just give up the breath that God gave me for free. I need to know. Where the fuck were you? I just had one margarita. It was 3 hours ago. I am completely sober. And I was like, okay, so blow into it. And she was like, no, because if it detects anything, even if it's below the limit, it won't start my car. So you came out here drinking with no plan. She was meeting this guy downtown that she had gone on like 1 or 2 dates with. I thought he was gonna walk me back to my car. And like, when he did, I was gonna ask him to blow into my car. That is the most ratchet shit you have ever said to me. Why? I just thought that that's like how it would work. We leave and we go walk around 16th Street Mall and he just takes off to his car and was like, see you later. She was like, and I didn't know what to do. He was already like walking off and I was like, sure do know how to pick him, Lexi. Sure do know how to pick. I get back in my Scion. I go home. She takes off. She lets me know she made it home okay. Perfect. I don't remember how we made the plans, but we made the plans. And she was like, she was going to come over to my place. We were going to like, get ready and then hit up the club. Okay. She came over to my apartment with some alcohol and some chasers or whatever. We pre-gamed with it and then we drank it while we were walking over to the clubs. Very classy, and tried to drink all of it before we got over there and then threw the bottles away and then went into the club. Tipsy. My OG Glamazons, you already know what I'm talking about. So this is a multi-level club, but the best level, everybody knows it, is the rooftop, okay? It's meh. It's like meh crowded. It's not too bad. And, we just were already hella tipsy. And we're both like really extroverted, especially when we're drinking. So we don't even take a second to sit down or nothing, girl. We are immediately on that dance floor, just a shaking ass, doing the damn thing. And I don't know what it was with her, but she just loved backing her ass up against me. She just loved the dun 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 dun. And I was like, I was more than happy to be like, fast forward, I don't even know how much time, girl. It's all a blur. And like, I guess the DJ sees more people coming onto the dance floor, girl. He puts that shit into hyperspeed, okay? And all of a sudden, it is bumping. It is crowded. There are so many people. And like, the rooftop isn't just the dance floor. Like, over half of it is like the actual outdoor rooftop with like lounge seating and stuff like that. And there's only a small, not very well insulated room, bitch, that is a part of the rooftop, and it's fucking covered. It is literally enclosed, and that is the only place that you have to dance, and it gets very stuffy, musty, all that kinds of shit in there. But do you think that we cared? No. We kept our happy asses dancing, okay? So we're doing our thing. You would have thought we had choreographs going on, bitch. Don't fucking play with us. Sometimes she's backing it up into me. Sometimes I'm backing it up into her. Sometimes we facing each other and, doing our little ankle shit. Guys in clubs, somebody needs to do a documentary, like on Animal Planet, and where they like go out into the wild and they like film the animals. That's what they need to do for guys in the club, because the way that they move in the clubs, bitch, very sketch. And I don't know what it is, but if your ass is not actively up against another person, they're going to take that as a literal opening, bitch, to fucking just you just feel the warmth of somebody's body up against you from 1 second to the next, okay? And this is your moment. The minute that you feel that little boop, that little pew, and you even think that it might, even if it could be a bump, a shove, a little nudge, girl, you better look behind you, because if you continue to let that ride and you don't even look behind you and you're like, oh my God, yeah, somebody just must have bumped into me. It's actually a dude. He's going to think that you're okay with it. And then before you know it, he is going to be full on like trying to grind on your ass, okay? What do you think happens? We're minding our own jolly business, having a good ass time, not asking for nobody. I feel warmth on my back immediately. I'm like telling this guy, oh, the things. And I look over at my girl Alexis. Why is there this freaking bumple, this whole ass bumple behind her, bitch? I'm talking about gray hair, like in a ponytail, greasy satin button down shirt, like all the way unbuttoned, and all his gray chest hairs sticking out. And I'm like, here's my girl. I'm talking about face towards the ground, just giving this man is about to have a heart attack. Do you hear me? I'm telling you, he has not seen this much action since 1967, bitch. No. She is in her own, up, down, round and round, girl. She's giving him the ride of his life, and he is there. Like, literally, guys around him are like, hey, because like he's the bumper on the dance floor, okay? And I'm like, y'all better stop egging his old ass on. Y'all better stop it right now. Alexis. She finally comes up for air, okay? This bitch loved like twerking with her fucking face to the floor, you know what I mean? And it takes a special skill. I ain't even hating. But when it comes to being able to hear shit, girl, no. So I had to wait till she comes up for air. And I'm like, hey. And I don't want to be rude, like it's a very fine line when you're out in public, especially that young, and with men, because you don't know how they're gonna react to rejection. So I would always like try to not make it like a big deal. So I'm trying to talk to her with my eyes, and I'm like, she's like, hey, and like looking at me like, damn, I'm like killing it, huh? And I'm like, you might kill him behind you, but ma'am. Y'all, by this point, I'm not even kidding. Like, they had danced like 2-3 dances together, like in a row by this point. So she ass has been all over him. Her face. That moment of realization for your friend when she finally looks back on who she's been grinding on this entire time, And it was whole ass bumpo. It was somebody's grandpa. It was somebody's great grandpa, probably. I wouldn't even doubt that. And y'all, she's looking at me and she gives me the help me stare. The oh my God, help me stare. Like, bitch, get me out of this situation. And I'm like, oh really? Now you want my help? Okay. Bumpo was not taking no easily. Like, and I could have seen that coming. These older men are a lot harder to shoo away, you know, like they're a lot more stubborn and set in their ways. So, you know, I do the whole bathroom thing and he's like, can I get you guys something to drink? I'm gonna get you guys your drinks. I'll meet you outside of the bathroom. And I'm like, no, that's okay. Like, you know, so we're like thinking on our feet and she's like, actually, I think I might have to go, like parking or something, like something, you know, came out of her mouth and it's so loud. And at this point, like, I'm just like, we don't have to explain shit to him. Like, let's just go. So I grab her wrist and like, I start leading her through the crowd and he's like, wait, hold on. Like, come on, like, let me buy you a drink or whatever. And I was concerned that he was going to follow us. So like, I'm trying to zigzag through the crowd. I get us out of that little room. I get us down the stairs, all the way down to the first floor, and we go into the bathroom, we go pee, we come out, we start busting out laughing. And I was like, damn girl, you for real done gave grandpa the time of his life. Like, what the fuck? You gonna look at me and be like, why didn't you tell me? Bitch, why didn't you look? It's your ass. If you want to rub your ass on somebody, I would suggest that you actually look before you start. Like, I mean, it's not my fault that your face was 2 centimeters from the floor, bitch, and you couldn't even hear me. So, girl, we are just cutting up in that bathroom. It was such a funny moment. Alexis was notorious, bitch. She had the worst taste in men. They would be walking red flags and she was just like attracted to them. You know what I mean? Like, do you have a friend like that? Because like, I had a friend like that. She did not have a good picker. And I remember like leaving that bathroom and we were gonna go back to my apartment. Now bumpers are out here trying to rub up on us, you know, like maybe we should go. Nothing but trouble. And who's over there? And he like steps in front of us and like starts talking to her and he's like, hey, and you know, it's spitting his stupid shit. And guess he's like, oh, hey, y'all take a drink. Nikki, you want a drink? Yeah, he's gonna buy his drinks and a drink. Like, just one. I'm playing wingman for my friend while she's, you know, getting a talking to by this stupid dude with dusty jeans. Gets his number. She tries to go home with him. That drink must have been a double because she got hella messed up. So she gets his number. She's like, I'm gonna call you when I'm not with my nosy friend. And I'm like, okay, whatever, bitch. So I get her back to my apartment. She passes out on my couch. Everything is all good. Next morning rolls around. She's hella hungover. Like, I know that I heard her get up at least 2 times in the middle of the night to go throw up because we only had one bathroom in that little bitty ass downtown apartment, so you could hear everything. And so I knew my girl was just going through it. So I was like, hey, do you want to like go get some brunch? And she was like, yeah. So, you know, we wait until like 11 or something. We get ready and we go to brunch. And, you know, first thing she orders mimosas. And I was like, okay, so, you know, she's having a little bit of hair of the dog. All right, okay. We get back to my apartment and she had parked her car on like, you know, the street near my apartment, and I drive her to her car. The minute that I see her car, I immediately remember, oh shit, like I'm gonna have to get out of my car to blow into her little thing so her car can start because she just had mimosas. Like, I don't know why I did not fucking think about it until we got to the car. So I'm like, fuck. And all of a sudden Alexis was like, what the fuck? She's like looking out of the window and I'm like, dude, like you knew, like why would you drink mimosas? Like, I gotta park and like whatever. And she was like, no, dude, look at my car. Her front driver's side tire flat, bitch. Like, okay, that shit was on rim. God, she starts freaking out. Like, we're not making hardly any money, either one of us. Like, we're both pretty fucking broke. And, you know, something like that is going to set you back quite a bit of coin. So she immediately, like, starts freaking out. And she's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And like, she had to go like pick up her son and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. You know, I immediately try to go into, you know, rescue mode and what can we do? And let's figure it out. It's okay. There's an answer. Don't worry about it. Take her back inside of my apartment. I talk to my mom and I'm like, oh my God, like this is what just happened. And my mom had this dude that she would go to all the time because, you know, she had friends that worked in the city and they all went to the same mechanic. And he would like patch up tires, give you used tires, like for really cheap if you didn't have money for like all new tires. And that's a lot of times how we made it through, especially winter tires and stuff like that, because that shit is hella expensive. So he knew my mom and she was like, he'll give you like a discounted price for it. It takes us like a few hours to get all of this situated and like like Alexis is trying to figure out the funds and I'm trying to figure out like the mechanic issue and where we're going to take it. By the time we actually get into her car, the spare is on. I have to blow into her car. We get her car started and everything, and she follows me to this mechanic shop, and it's well into the afternoon now, okay? Like, this was an all-day motherfucking ordeal. My Denver rides, it's like a mechanic shop off of Colfax, bitch, okay? But, you know, the price was good. We go, it's a bit sketch. I ain't even gonna lie, it was like Colfax and Sheridan, bitch. So, it was a little bit sketchy, and as soon as we roll up, there's nothing but like 4 or 5 dudes just chilling, posted up outside, and I'm like, oh my God, great, right? So we roll up, I take a parking spot, she rolls up her car, and immediately, like, the dude just, like, you know, start going to her car. I hop out, and, you know, so she's not standing there by herself, and because, like, she's looking at me like, bitch, where the fuck did you bring me? And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I asked for my mom's friend. We're going to call him Dan. And I'm like, hey, you know, is Dan here today? And, oh, yeah, you know, that's my uncle. Hold on. And so he goes and, you know, gets this man. And he's an older man. And he comes out. And this man, he was really nice in the creepiest fucking way, okay? Because, like, I had never met him before. My mom had called ahead and was like, hey, my daughter and her friend are on their way. Like, help them the fuck out. And so he was like, oh, yeah, I was expecting you. And he's, like, doing this up and down thing. I didn't know that your mom's daughter was this pretty. Wow. Okay, like, thanks, yeah, thank you. So, like, we just need this tire replaced. Like, can you tell me how much it's gonna be for a used tire? And he was like, yeah. So he starts, like, asking my friend, you know, some questions about her car and stuff to see if he has that tire in stock. And while he's talking to her, bitch, like, 2 more dudes, like, come from out of the garage. It was like we saw it at the exact same moment. She turns and her eyes meet mine. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? One of the guys that walked out of the garage was a pompo. The same pompo from the club that she was backing that ass up on last night. Oh, when I tell you, just thinking about the sick ass smirk on his face when he saw her gives me the girl. It was so like, you would have thought, like, oh my God, it was so, like, he wanted to fucking eat her up. And he inserts himself between my mom's friend and my friend. You know, long time no see. Like, you would think that with the age you would have, like, better shit, but okay. Immediately Alexis is, like, fucking stiff as a board, and she's like, hi. Hi, thank you so much. You got a problem with your car, or did you just come here to see me? You ain't gotta lie. You ain't got to lie. You ain't gotta lie. It's too late to leave. This is probably the best, like, price that we're gonna get. So I'm looking at Alexis and I'm like, bitch, just suck it up. Like, let's just get through it. It's fine, right? So we go wait in their, like, little office. They take her car in and they're like, yeah, you know, it'll be like 30, 40 minutes. Okay, whatever. So we're sitting there, bitch. You would have thought that we were animals on display, because that little room had big ass windows that looked into the garage where all of the men were. And, like, you could tell that this pompo was in there, bitch, just bragging and that, like, just talking, okay? Because, like, they were all like, and, like, kept, like, looking over, and they were like, no, and, like dabbing his old ass up and shit. And I'm like, oh my God. And Alexis is like, bitch, you gotta be fucking kidding. At least your boyfriend is fixing your car. And she's like, push me. She's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, and one of the younger mechanics came out, and he was, like, gonna check her out. And then here comes Pompo. I got her. Don't worry. I will take care of my princess. Super cheap. And she's like, you know, really grateful. He gave her a hella discount. He made sure that she understood that it was a very big discount, and it was only because he liked her so much. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, bitch, I know you fucking lying. Girl, she starts, oh my God. That was so nice of you. You did not have to do that. Thank you so much. How do you do this all day? This has to be so hard for you. And let me see your hands. Bitch, she for real said that. She's like, let me see your hands. And so he's like, yeah, you know, I'm a hard worker. Yeah, you know. And she's like, oh my God, I can tell. Like, wow, thank you so much for your help. And, like, whatever, right? I parked her car out in the parking lot next to mine. And we went out there and just, like, busted out laughing, bitch. And I was like, what was that? Cheap labor, bitch, what? And I was like, why are you doing that? She was like, look, okay, if he wants to take care of me, I'm not gonna stop him from taking care of me. We take off from there. She goes on her own way. I go home. home. It was a long ass day. She calls me one day and she was like, hey, so what are you doing like on this specific Saturday? And I was like, oh, like, I don't know, like I might be doing this or that or whatever. And she was like, are you trying to go to Black Hawk? Bitch, with what money? I'm sorry. Like, Black Hawk is notoriously expensive, especially like the hotels and stuff out there. I have a room over there for 3 days. And I invited some friends and I wanted to know if you would like to come and like, you know, just party. What? Bitch, I know my friend and I love her to death. But how the fuck are you affording this? Who's all gonna be there? And I finally just asked her and I'm like, girl, you know, it's hella expensive. How are you doing this? Like, what's going on? Like, you get some child support from your baby daddy? Like, what's going on? Well, let's just say I have a different type of daddy now. What? And she tells me, bitch, that bumple at the car garage had taken her number from, you know, they take your number and your information when you check out. He called her. He did not text her because, you know, he's older a little bit. And he calls her. She said that he was so sweet and so kind and caring and that he was like checking on her and making sure, like asking her if she had like groceries and like if she had any bills that needed to be paid. And like, you know, she's just too beautiful and too sweet to be doing this all by herself. And like, bitch, grandpa was spitting game. By this point in time and juncture of the story, my friend had already been out with this man over 3 times and may or may not have done some things with him. And all of a sudden she was like, oh, you know, like, oh, my birthday's coming up. Like, you know, I'm really thinking about what I want to do for my birthday. And he was like, well, think about it and let me know. And so she did. She called him and she was like, hey, I would really love to have like a little girls getaway. Cause you know, she didn't want to go too far because her son. And she was like, I just want to have a little girls getaway up in Black Hawk and just invite a few friends or whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be anything too big. And he was like, oh, don't worry about it, bitch. He rented out a suite for her. He got her a pass to the all-you-can-eat buffet that has like crab legs and shit. It's hella expensive for all of us. Gave her money to like gamble away, to literally gamble away, bitch. She kept it. She didn't end up gambling it. He's a mechanic. Like, how is this happening? And she was like, oh yeah, so it turns out like his wife died not too long ago, so he doesn't have a wife. And also he's part owner. He works there just for funsies, not because he has to. Okay, great. That's wonderful. I didn't go for the whole weekend. I didn't end up spending the night. I had something else to do, but I did go up there for like a night. And it was a hella nice suite. He had champagne ordered and delivered to the room. He like had like this big old thing of chocolates and like this teddy bear with balloons and stuff delivered. And we had a really great time. We went down to the casino and just, you know, just chilled out for a bit. There's really not a whole lot to do. Yeah, it was kind of like a weird group because like I didn't really know anybody else. So I got to know like some of her cousins and like a few other of her friends, but like some of the other peeps that were there, just not my vibe. After a few hours, I was like, bitch, I'm gonna dip. And it is a long way down the mountain, and I don't like driving down the mountain when it's really dark. And why the fuck does this bitch give me $50 on the way out? Just cause. For your time. And I was like, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm not saying no to money. And then she fucked it all up. You want to know how? Because apparently Bumble found out that Miss Thang was still messing with her baby daddy somehow, some way. I don't know if he walked in on it or something, but he was pretty positive about it. He cut her ass off, stopped talking to her. And so I think she only had him as a sugar daddy for like a few, like I want to say like maybe 6 months, 7 months or something like that. Almost a year, but not quite. And yeah, she was really devastated about it. Not because of him, but because of the money. And yeah, and then she went back to living her normal life and trying to find her another sugar daddy. And yeah, girl, sugar daddies don't have to be like exorbitantly rich. They just have to have like extra income that they're willing to give you. You know, I thought I understood sugar daddies because of this situation with my friend. Girl, no. That ain't nothing in comparison to the sugar daddies that I saw roll through at the strip club when I was working at Diamond as a cocktail waitress. Girl, let me tell you something. Them girls that had the sugar daddies, All their cars released brand new off the lot every single year. They did not drive old cars. I literally remember talking to one of the dancers and she rolled up in a brand new white, fresh off the lot Lexus. And we were like, damn, bitch, you know, like, you know, giving, you know, hyping her up. And we're like, damn, that's a nice car. And she was like, I don't drive anything less than current with my cars. My daddy doesn't let me. And I was like, oh my God, bitch. And like, these dudes are messy, bitch. Like another one got like this Cartier bracelet that he bought her when he was on vacation with his wife in Italy. And he was over there fucking messaging her, like sending her pictures. Do you like this one? Do you like this one, my baby? And like, she got to pick it out. It's crazy. It is a crazy world. And I'm not telling y'all that y'all should do this. I'm just telling y'all. It always comes at a cost, but it is always so crazy when I witness it because it's just like, it's just a crazy concept. I don't know. I've always been fascinated by it. That is my story about the time that I inadvertently helped my girl get a sugar daddy that paid all her bills for a good minute. And, you know, it was a good time for her. It was a good time for her. Let me know your thoughts down below. I love y'all so much and I will be back with another video. I'm doing some more vlogs and stuff like that and just kind of like switching around my content to what I want it to be and how I want it to look and call it a rebranding, if you will, ish. But I'm really excited. I love you guys so much, but God loves you more and I will see your fine self in my next video. Peace out, y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all be safe out there. Okay. See you soon.